right. Good morning, everyone. If we'll settle in, we'll call this meeting of the House Higher Education Committee to order. I want to thank everybody for getting up on this fine Friday morning and ask whoever was responsible for not turning the heat on this morning outside to kindly do so at their earliest convenience. It was 26 degrees as I drove in, and some spread the rumor that it had dropped below 20 last night. So thanks everybody for getting out here this morning. We have one item this morning. We have a substitute to House Bill 217 from the governor's floor leader, Representative Sue Hong. I want to thank the governor's team and particularly the Representative Hong for working with us. She did a great job telling us about the program in the last bill, and what we've done in working with them is to continue to refine the pilot program. We're going to be extending that, and I'm going to let the representatives tell us, but we'll extend the pilot program, so she'll tell us there are really, I think, only two operative changes in the bill, and then some Scribner's changes that were left over from the other thing. So with that, Representative, tell us about LC 610160S.
Thank you, Chairman. And that is actually LC 610158S is what I have.
Probably 60.
Okay. Then you are correct.
We'll bring you one.
Okay, thank you.
And to be clear about that, I think I know what happened there. We're on the same page of what the bill is doing. I think there was a technical change between 50.
Okay.
I think there was a technical change between 158 and 160.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I presented this bill before in committee. Again, this is a dual enrollment program with TCSG where those students who have failed out of high school have another chance through TCSG to obtain their high school diploma as well as certificates and certain technical certificates that they can receive. After certain feedback, we've decided to extend the pilot program. So previously we had decided that we were going to do a permanent program, but instead we are going to extend the pilot program now to 10 years from the 5 years before, and that 5 years was supposed to run out at the end of this year. And so instead we're going to go ahead and extend it for 10 years just to gather more data and see the success of the program before we make it permanent. And that is mainly the main change. We've also changed in line 40 the date for the review to November 15th of each year. And then 41 through 43 just changing who will be receiving the results of the pilot program. And with that, I would ask your favorable consideration on this bill.
Yes, and to reiterate, the gentlelady's changes their own 40 to November 15th in order for the committees and the various committees in the legislature to have time to review that before we go in December, before we go in January. And then I think there were two other changes that were for 5 to 10 years and then on to extend the date to 2031. You have a couple of questions. Number 18, Representative Glaze.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That's not Representative Glaze. I'm sorry.
Thank you for bringing this bill.
Let me properly do it. Chairman Dickey. I had the wrong name written down here. I didn't even look down whose number. Chairman Dickey.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for bringing this bill. And I hate to ask these questions like that, but could you remind me where the funding is coming from through for this program?
Sure. So initially when this pilot program was enacted, it was created in 2021 through SB 204. That we had 5 pilot sites, and that funding was already budgeted into the TCSG.
It's in the full fund is in TCSG.
That's
budget.
correct.
Okay.
And then on top of that, so after 5 years, it was going to be a question of where that where additional funding was going to come in, and or if we're going to need additional funding. And so TCSG will continue to fund it through their budget. And so that's just one of the things that we want to kind of see whether or not that is going to be, that is going to continue and where that funding is going to come from, et cetera. So we're not asking for any additional funding with this.
Your fellow leader, Representative Matt.
Thank you, Chairman. And Floor Leader Hung, I appreciate the changes that you've made to this bill. And I'm not going to hold you to this, but I think, and you tell me that the current graduation rate for students in Georgia is somewhere around 90% at the K-12 level, if that's my understanding. And I don't know if there's anybody from DOE here. But I was reminded when I made a comment previously in our last meeting about this bill that, you know, there is still a percentage of students that are not graduating from high school, although we've improved our graduation rate. And this is a good solution for some of those students that we might not quite be serving in the K-12 space. It is a good option, and I think the changes that you make put some good parameters around it so we can continue to look at it and see how it works. But I just wanted to make that comment and appreciate the changes you made to the bill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is Atlanta Tech one of the schools, one of the sites?
It is not. So, and if you see, sorry, I had the list of the 5 pilots. The five pilot sites are Albany Technical College, Athens, Atlanta, Central Georgia, and Chattahoochee Technical College.
Well, Atlanta would be Atlanta
So
Tech.
Atlanta Tech is.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Atlanta Tech is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And allow me, I have one, well, let me take the question and I'll, who is 24 down there? Is that
Me.
Representative Jackson?
All right. Thank you very much. I love the program. One thing I just wanted to reiterate is that you best start looking, if you're looking at another site, that you come down to the southern part of the state to see what you can do in that area, because I think there is a need for it in our area.
Thank you for, and I know you mentioned that last time, and we're
Yeah.
looking at that. Thank you.
I would like, if I can, take a bit of privilege, and I know we're in a hurry, but I want to spread some information, and we'll get it out to the committee that we found in working with the representative and the governor's office on this. There are 227 high schools that have students that are participating in this program. You do not have to be adjacent, geographically adjacent to do this, because the way the program has been set up, you can take the high school courses virtually and complete high school, and then you attend your technical college for the dual enrollment portion at the technical college that is closest to you. So one of the things that we're going to be able to do in this pilot is find out, do we need 1 degree conferring technical college, and then everything else is remote, and we certainly can put, just like we have adjunct campuses for technical college, there can be adjunct campuses for the degree, and I'm not going to, it could be the central office that's conferring the degrees, and then you put people in the colleges that work with students to get them involved. So we've got a great opportunity during this pilot project to do that, and not only do that at this program, but if there's a secret sauce, if you will, developed, to share that with K-12, because what if they found a way to touch students and they stayed in their local high school? Hey, I don't want to go down the halls, but I'm going to stay enrolled in my local high school, but I'm going to go to programs at the Dual Enrollment Academy and then do them online, and then they can do the technical college online, but then they may be walking graduation with a class at their high school. It just gaining the education in a different way. So there's a great opportunity here that the representative has been a big piece of pulling that thought process together along with the governor's office. So I think we have somehow we got 3 more questions. So I'm going to do
And
these.
Chairman, if I
Yes,
may,
ma'am.
so currently we're looking at, and obviously there are a lot of students that are taking advantage of the virtual portion of the high school diploma. Obviously, there are some students that prefer in person, and so we're seeing whether or not and how many students are participating in virtual and whether we should go all virtual. And then there are, despite these 5 pilot sites, there are many TCSG colleges out there that are actually working with these 5 pilot sites to offer classes.
And I'll take these 3 questions, and I'll get the report, this year's report out to the committee and get a list of those schools and the numbers. I think you'll be pleased with that. We have 3 more questions, and we try to move along. There is a rules meeting at 8. I know some people are interested in that. Representative Barnes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Rep, for bringing this. This is a great bill. My one question is, we're extending it to 10 years, which is good for data collection, but somewhere in there needs to be an assessment to see if it's working for us. And then what if we do an assessment within 5 years and we see it's very successful? Are we able to go in and add schools like in Savannah after 5 years of seeing success, and can we expand the program within that pilot program, or do we have to wait after 10 years?
So
that's a
again, the
long time.
pilot sites are in the bill, and so those stay the same. But TCSG will, again, what we just talked about, whether it's offering more virtual, but also there are 15 partner TCSG colleges that are now offering, and there are more that are wanting to offer. So within the program and during this time, because those partner colleges were not part of the original bill, but
So
they
you
came
will
out
have
and
the
said,
ability to expand
Correct.
within this 10-year pilot.
correct, and those reviews and results will continue to come in every year and see how it's working.
All right, thank you.
Representative Burnett.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is a great bill. However, I do know that there are some problems. We do have to keep in mind that the students that are participating in this are the students who have not done well in school. So unless we have the wraparound services to make sure, because some of these children students have learning disabilities, some of them are ESOL, and so just they need to have that extra support in order to be successful. And I do know in some instances with this program that the colleges thought the students were going to come in and ready to learn. And learning is not magical. It is a process. And being an educator, I know that. And so you do have to make sure that as you're evaluating it, because as the chairman was saying, well, some of them can go online, but all these students can't go online. They do need to have that connection with someone, and you do have to have somebody that's in there that can work with those ESOL students and with those students that have learning disabilities to make sure we're meeting their learning needs.
I understand. As an ESOL student myself, I definitely understand that. I know there are, since I was an ESOL student to now, I know that even just our regular high schools, even doing virtual school days and things, there are a lot of advances as far as having translation programs and et cetera. And TCSG had testified in my last hearing that they're offering different programs and all the programs for those that need a little extra help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Representative Scoggins.
At the proper time, Mr. Chair.
We're getting right there. There's no further questions. I don't think we need testimony on this. We had testimony on the bill. So if the committee is ready, we are in a posture to take action on LC 610160S, House Bill 217. What's the pleasure of the committee in regards to this item? Have a motion in several seconds. I think you're in good shape, Leader Hong. That this move forward to rules with due pass recommendation. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. We're on to rules. Without further ado, I know people have places to be, and without objection, we'll stand adjourned.